Hi and welcome to another review by BikeThing, the bike website for bikers by bikers. Today we're going to be looking at some products from sportsbikeshop.co.uk. These are a direct replacement brake and clutch levers from a BadDog. They're actually Sports Bike Shop's own brand. We're going to be looking at a complete walkthrough from product in the box to fitting onto your motorcycle. As you can see, with them being a direct replacement, they are a really nice product. These are actually the shorty versions. They do short and normal length. There's not a right lot of difference, to be perfectly honest, between the short and the long versions. They currently only come in one colour. That's the ones that you see here, the black with the red 6-point adjuster. If you look at the pictures here at the short versions at the side of the stock levers that are on my bike, there's not a massive difference in length. Feel wise, in the hand, they are a really nice quality product. Both levers have the BadDog logo etched onto the front of them. If you're looking to replace your stock levers with something a little bit more classy but not quite as expensive as ASV levers, the BadDog levers are priced at $29.99 each. So we're going to jump straight into the removal of the old levers. The tools you're going to need for this are a 10mm ring spanner and a flat-headed screwdriver, or that's all we used anyway. Removal of the brake lever is a piece of cake. Put the ring spanner underneath the nut on the underside of the lever and just undo the threaded screw that holds that in place. This may differ for each motorcycle, so obviously if you're in any doubt as to what you're doing, consult somebody that does. So you see here the difference between the lengths. Now we're actually taking the levers off. The one that we're fitting is the short lever. There's not a massive difference in there. Removal of the clutch lever is slightly different in that you have to dial the adjuster all the way in to slacken the cable off. There's a little retaining kind of spring thing there you may have to push in just to enable you to screw that all the way in. Once you've got that loose, you can pop the cable, given that it's got enough slack. You can pop that clean out. What you need to do is actually line up the groove in the edge of the adjuster with the slit in the side of your clutch lever there, and then the cable should pop straight out of there. And then just give that a little wiggle. On the end of the cable there's like a little barrel type thing. That's what just holds it into place on the actual clutch lever. And then removal is the same as it was for the brake lever. We ended up having to use a socket set purely because we couldn't get the ring spanner to where we needed it to be able to undo this bolt. And the other difference with the clutch lever on this particular model bike is that it doesn't have a screw in the top that you can undo, so we had to get our finger under it and just pop that out. Once we'd taken that bolt out of there that was holding it in, it was just a case of giving the lever a little bit of a wiggle, and then it did pop off. Fitting was the exact opposite of removal. The brake lever going in first just slots straight into place. You may have to give that a little wiggle to get that in there. It's probably worth noting as well that if you get hold of some copper slip and just apply a bit to the moving parts of the lever, that will stop it from being stiff. Pop the nut back on the bottom, hold it in place with a ring spanner, tighten it up with the screw on the top, and that's the brake lever in place. Fitment of the clutch lever was exactly the same. Pop it into place, bolt it in from the underside, and it was just then a case of putting the cable back in the same way that we took it out. Again, using the socket set to tighten that back up because there's no screw in the top there, and you can see there now it's fitted. It does look considerably better. As I say, popping the clutch cable back in is exactly the same. Pop the little barrel into the slot on the underside of the clutch lever, which you can't actually see on this video, but it is under there, and then slot the cable up through the slot in the lever, again making sure that the adjuster slit is lined up with the slit on the side of the lever itself, and then it's just a case of dialing that back out to take up the tension. One thing I found after I'd done this and I had everything working, I was having some problems with the clutch, and that's because I dialed it out too far. It's a very simple mod for your bike. It takes around 20 minutes, I would have said. I've not noticed any difference between having shorter length levers, and I've always had the normal length levers on a bike, but I think that the $29.99 that you pay for each lever is definitely worth the investment at the side of the looks that it gives your bike. The adjustment on the top is a really nice solid feel when you're changing it between the different settings. Thanks for joining us today for this review of the BadDog levers sent to us by sportsbikeshop.co.uk. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, check out our website bikething.co.uk, and we'll see you for our next review.